10 balls for Gulbuddin Naib, taking his side home to what now looks like an inevitable victory. 7 runs needed from 18 balls. The run rate is only 2.3. And this is a handy partnership now between the pair of 21. It looks like Ian Wardlaw will have the next over. The big tall Scot. But he needs wickets. And really now more than one. We spoke maybe 4 or 5 overs ago about 1 wicket turning the momentum. But 2 or 3 are needed now in quick succession, because only 7 runs necessary. 2 swings of the bat potentially, and it could all be over. And you can see this wonderful Afghan crowd are now virtually all on their feet, chanting, waiting, hopeful of celebrating victory within the next 6 balls. As Wardlaw from the pavilion end, bowling towards Gulbuddin Naib. He's taking his time here. Is he going to be tempted for one big swing to try and knock 6 runs off? Does get a big swing. It will go though straight to the fielder in the form of Callum McLeod, who we've barely spoken about. He's hardly touched the ball. 1 run scores though, 6 runs required from 17 balls, so it now can all be over in 1 swing of the bat potentially, though I don't think the advice to this pair will be to go for anything too crazy, given how many balls they've got in hand. But no run scores there.
Shinwari, he really is taking on this role of batting through the innings. He's got a juicy full toss there, and he just wants to knock it into a gap. He's not in free-flowing mode at the moment. He really wants to stay there for his team.
That's good to see though, isn't it? We see with a lot of these flamboyant batsmen, sides like the West Indies, they do just go for it, and it can look great when it comes off, but when it doesn't, it can cost you a match. Shinwari receiving from Wardlow, another high bouncer, can't work it into the gap though, and again no run scores.
I think it just demonstrates that maturity and that level of experience now that is amongst this Afghanistan group. As you rightly say, Ben, it's the rush of blood, the crowd, and you want to hit the winning runs for your country, but he certainly doesn't seem to be in that frame of mind. He'd take the glory with a big hit to finish.
At the crease once again, Shinwari this time does give it a big swing, and then raises bat in the air in frustration as he never made clean contact there, and again no run scores, so it's 6 from 14 now, 254 for 5, winning target is 260.
Interesting reaction there from the Scottish fielder, Kurtz, had a shot at the stumps. I wonder whether Shinwari was a little bit lazy in getting back, and a direct hit might have had him short. Just an interesting reaction there.
Wardlow once again to Shinwari, 6 runs required for victory. Full toss, and that hits the batsman, and he's able to just deflect the ball away for a single. Bit of a nasty delivery there.
Yeah, not a deliberate high full toss at all. He was just obviously going for the Yorker and just lost it a little bit. But still, we get a warning from the umpire as he needs to under the rules. And unfortunately, that's 2 runs there, no ball and the extra run, which isn't really necessary at this stage, unfortunately, for Scotland.
4 runs then needed from 14 balls. A boundary will do it. And Gulbuddin Naib, the man to provide it. Wardlaw steps up. It's a high bouncer. There's no edge though. The wicketkeeper is absolutely convinced, David Murphy, that that's out. But no bat on that. No run either. 4 runs still required for Afghanistan to wrap up this second one-day international here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium.
I think it's fair to say that the noise from the crowd has risen a few decibels in the last 5 or 10 minutes, as the sniff of victory is very much there now, only 4 runs to get, and the crowd all on their feet pretty much in the stand, all looking forward to this win from Afghanistan.
So 4 runs still required from 13 balls. Wardlow against Gulbuddin Naib. It's a high one, almost a carbon copy of the last one. Bounces over the wickets. Again though, it's a swing and a miss.
To go out without having any say, a couple of short balls there, good on him.
12 balls remaining then, or 2 overs, 4 runs required. The current rates and the required rates very much immaterial now, since you would expect Afghanistan, whether through 4 quick singles or 1 big boundary, to wrap this up. This wasn't an easy series against a Scottish team above them in the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League table, but they've whitewashed them in the T20s and in the one-day games as well.
The winning for Afghanistan really will even up the top of the ICC World Cricket League Championship table. See the Afghanistan coaching staff, manager and some of the players there. Some few smiles letting go, some still a little bit nervous. There's Shafiq Stanik's eye in the front there, the manager.
Shinwari then at the crease. Can't orchestrate a single there. The man bowling is Joshua Davey from the far end.
Kabir Khan in the middle there of shot, the middle to the right, the coach of Afghanistan, does an excellent job with the team, former Pakistan international. He really is a great coach for Pakistan.
Davey against Shinwari, manages to work away a single. 3 runs now required from 10 balls. And that puts Gulbuddin Naib back on strike. Quite capable of finishing this with 1 swing of his bat. 3 runs from 10 balls required. Davey from the far end against Naib. Bit of hesitation there.
I'm not sure he might want the glory here for the boundary. Or you would have suspected there was a pretty easy single in that one, but he decided not to take it.
Now 3 from 9. A little bit of frustration there from the Afghan players. I think you're right though, Naib wants to finish this with 1 swing of the bat if he can. Is he going to prove the hero, Naib? Swings his bat and he is the hero. 2 bounces and over for a 4. Gulbuddin Naib wraps it up as far as Afghanistan are concerned. They get to that target of 260, finishing on 261 for 5. A 5-wicket victory in the second one-day international against Scotland, having won the first by 7 wickets as well. So 2 out of 2 for Afghanistan here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and it means they move level with Scotland on 11 points, second in the ICC World Cricket League table, and as things stand, in with a shout of qualifying automatically for the 2015 World Cup. It's also good news for the UAE and Holland as well, because it really opens up this group. They've only played 8 games and thus have 2 games in hand over both Scotland and Afghanistan, tied for second, with Ireland of course topping the group as well. Cracking entertainment here, Tim Anderson, at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium, and a really resolute and professional performance by the Afghan team.
Yeah, terrific performance by Afghanistan in front of their adopted home fans, you could say. 7,000 or so Afghanis here today, really loving the performance of their team. And it's Gulbuddin Naib there coming off, hitting the winning runs, getting certainly a lot of appreciation from the crowd, also the Scotland players. And I think Scotland came back pretty well today. They obviously got well beaten on Wednesday, but a good performance to get 260, perhaps 20 or 30 runs short in the end. But they should take some confidence out of that. They've still got a good chance to get through in this competition, and they should take some positives out of this particular performance.
Who do you though see, if you had to name it now, taking that second spot? Let's assume, although it is a little bit presumptuous, that Ireland are going to win the group. Is it Afghanistan, is it Scotland, or with those games in hand, are we to rule out the Netherlands or the UAE?
I think it's too close to call, but it's a wonderful part of this competition. We have a number of teams, Afghanistan, Scotland, UAE, Netherlands, and of course we've got Ireland and the UAE coming up shortly on the 18th and the 20th of March here in Sharjah. By no means are Ireland guaranteed to pick up wins in both of those games too, so who knows? It's going to be really open competition coming to the end of the World Cricket League Championship and trying to get those viral to automatic places to the ICC Cricket World Cup.
And a final word, Tim, on your man of the match. I mean, it's tempting in some senses to pay respect to Kyle Kurtzer after his 133, but with Afghanistan doing the business, you really have to, I guess, make a decision between Sam Shenwari, who was good with both bat and ball, the captain Mohammed Nabi as well, who really led through the middle part of the order, and those two probably constitute the main contenders, I guess, if we're to pick a star Afghan player.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because you would say that the outstanding individual performance of the day definitely goes to Kyle Kurtzer and his 100. But if you, as often happens, the winning team does often get that accolade. Whether it is Shenwari, Mohammed Nabi, although he didn't finish it off and got out really in pretty poor circumstances, that innings of 50 really was a game changer. But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose, won't we, who gets that accolade.
And just finally, before we go off air, a reminder of what people who have watched and enjoyed this stream can see next online.
So, next game's to be broadcast live on the ICC's website at www.icc-cricket.com. We have two critical matches between Ireland and the UAE live here from the Sharjah Stadium on the 18th and 20th of March. And we certainly look forward to you joining us for those wonderful games, and hopefully they'll emulate what we've seen today, which has been a fantastic spectacle of cricket watched by a fantastic crowd.
Confirmation then of that final scorecard: Afghanistan reaching their target of 260, finishing on 261 for